welcome to today's video. Today we're looking at an article with the title, How an IT Glitch Turned into a Free Money Frenzy. As usual, we'll read it through, and after each paragraph we'll look at a couple of words that I've highlighted. So, on Tuesday, August 16th, 2023, some customers of Bank of Ireland experienced a rare opportunity. They were able to withdraw more money than they had in their accounts, thanks to an IT glitch that affected the bank's ATMs, online portal, and digital app. The news quickly spread on social media, sparking a rush to the nearest cash machines. Some people reportedly withdrew up to €1,000 or $1,090 over their account balance, while others transferred the same amount to other accounts and then withdrew it in cash. So, let's have a look at a couple of words that I've highlighted in this first paragraph. The first one we see here is to withdraw, which is a verb. And this is very closely associated with banks and banking, because basically when you want cash, you have to go to the bank, either the office or the ATMs, which is an acronym for automatic teller machine. Basically, it's this thing here, which we use to withdraw cash. So that means to take money out of the bank, out of your bank account. And it is actually an irregular verb. So the past is withdrew, and the past participle is withdrawn. Actually follows the same pattern as the verb draw, drew, drawn, but with a totally different meaning. Second word I've highlighted here is a really interesting word, glitch. A glitch is very closely associated with technology. So whenever you experience a glitch, usually we're talking about technology, whether it's computers or your phones, or in this case, IT systems. It's quite similar to another word which is associated with technology, bug. Bug is basically used to describe an error in programming. And in fact, recently, just a couple of days ago, as of the time of speaking, there was a very important glitch which was experienced in the UK traffic control systems. And this caused chaos with a lot of flights either cancelled or delayed. So glitches can be very problematic when they are experienced by large organizations. Okay, so let's continue with the second paragraph. The bank said the glitch was caused by a technical issue that impacted a number of its services and apologized for the disruption. It also warned customers that the transactions would be debited from their accounts and that they should contact their bank if they found themselves in financial difficulty due to overdrawing. The bank also said it had contacted the authorities but did not request police presence at its ATMs. So the first word I've highlighted here is the verb apologize, which is a regular verb. And this is basically what we do when we do something that we would consider, or other people consider, to be an error or to be wrong. And you basically say sorry for that action. So in this case, the bank was saying sorry for the problems that the IT glitch had caused to its customers. It apologized for that error. The second word here is overdrawing, another verb. To overdraw basically means that you have taken out or withdrawn more money from your account than you actually have. Now, the amount of money that you have in your account is usually called the balance. So if you overdraw, that means you've gone into negative numbers there. You owe money to the bank. And usually when this happens, the bank will charge you money, charge you a fee, if you like, for this service. And of course, you have to pay that money back. So let's continue here with the third paragraph. However, some media outlets reported that police officers were deployed in some parts of the country to maintain order and prevent people from withdrawing cash. A spokesperson for Ireland's police force told Fortune on Wednesday that law enforcement was aware of an unusual volume of activity at some ATMs across the country, and that local decisions were made depending on the public safety and public order presented to members of the police. So the first word here in this paragraph is deployed. This is the past of the verb deploy. It's actually used in the passive voice here. And basically, this is, I suppose, most closely associated with the military or with the police. When a soldier or a police officer is deployed, it means that they are sent to a particular area. So if there's trouble in a particular city, the government may decide to deploy more officers in that area in order to control and maintain order. Second word we have here is prevent, another verb. It's a regular verb, so the past is prevented. And in this case, it basically means to stop something from happening, to stop something from taking place. So in this case, the police officers were deployed in order to stop people or prevent people from withdrawing money or taking money out of the ATMs. Okay, so let's go to the final paragraph we have here at the bottom. The glitch has raised questions about the bank's IT system, which has been fined by the Central Bank of Ireland in the past for IT gaps. The central bank said it was monitoring the situation and working with the bank to ensure that any issues and errors identified are resolved. The country's finance ministry asked the central bank to establish a full account of the events. Meanwhile, some politicians criticized the police deployment as unnerving and called for more transparency from the bank. So, two words highlighted here. The first one is raised. It is a verb, it's a regular verb. Raise is the infinitive, raised is the past. And it's used in multiple ways. In this case, it's a little bit figurative. The basic meaning of raise is to go up or to make something go up. So, for example, in the classroom, if the teacher asks a question and one of the students knows the answer, he or she will raise their hand. It's also possible that in some circumstances, the government of a country might decide to raise interest rates. In fact, that is what has happened recently in the UK, where the government has been trying to control inflation. And so it has decided to raise interest rates several times in order to make the cost of borrowing a lot more expensive and cool down demand in the economy. Now, in this case, it's slightly figurative because it doesn't really have anything to do with going up or increasing, but it is a very common combination or collocation. You raise a question, basically similar to asking a question. Another important point about that verb is there is another similar verb, which is rise. Students often have confusion about the difference between these two. The simplest way I can explain this is by just giving a couple of examples. As I said before, you raise your hand when you know the answer to a question. The government raises interest rates. So in both of those examples, there is a person or an entity, a government, that is causing something to increase or to go up. In the first case, the student is raising the hand. The second, the government is increasing or raising interest rates. Now, rise, on the other hand, also means to go up, But this is usually used in cases where something increases or goes up naturally without human intervention. So a couple of good examples are the sun, right? The sun rises in the east every morning. And if you've ever made bread, you know that when you mix the flour and the yeast and the salt, um, basically you leave it after mixing it together and it rises because of the action of the yeast, which creates carbon dioxide. So I hope that's helped to differentiate those two similar verbs for you. So the last final word we have here highlighted is resolve. The verb resolve, in the past resolved, and it basically means that you are finding a solution to a problem, or in this case, an error. It says here that the errors were identified and resolved. So they found a solution to that problem, to that glitch. And there we have it. That's today's video. I hope you've liked it. And if you want to hear any more of these, please subscribe and like the video. Thank you very much.